Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Tashay Sayes. I'm a music major at MCC, and I'm so happy to be here. It's crazy how I got here.
My name is Emily Adams. I'm the marketing director for the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association. We are here at our third annual MAPS conference at the Waco Convention Center in beautiful Waco, Texas. I think the event has exceeded all of our expectations. We had an amazing turnout and great sessions and nothing but positive feedback. So this is our first conference in a convention center, and I'm used to working with hotels where there's like one person to talk to for everything. And so at the last minute, we realized we needed audio and video services. And so I contacted Lighthouse Streaming and Audio, and they were very quick to respond. They were able to, even though it was the last minute, they were able to fit us into their schedule, and they provided us with technicians and equipment to record our sessions, and we'll be able to provide the people who are speaking at those sessions with great video of themselves. I would highly recommend them. I highly recommend Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. I had nothing but a pleasant experience.
CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Tashay Sayes. I'm a music major at MCC, and I'm so happy to be here. It's crazy how I got here.
My name is Emily Adams. I'm the marketing director for the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association.
Centex Primetime. I am your host, Jalen, Gillis, getting ready to bring you through the primetime topics in sports, not just here in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today on Centex Primetime. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Centex Sports TV / Centex Sports Network over on YouTube. Also, hit that subscribe button while you're there on YouTube, and like and share the stream. Let a couple people know as we have a special guest coming in with us today. We've got Coach Charles Foster, who is the new of University High School football. We'll get a chance to talk to him just a little bit later today. You like and share this stream. Also, you can watch us on Facebook at Centex Sports Network on Facebook, and also follow us on Instagram and X as well at Centex Sports TV. You can find it on there. You can find my handle at the bottom ticker there at Jalen Gillis on Instagram. You could see me on there where we post a lot of the highlights of the show and different things. And Centex Sports Network on Instagram, where we post highlights of a lot of the local games that we cover here, starting with MCC. Their softball team just wrapped up their final home game yesterday. Their baseball team will be back in action this Saturday right here on Centex Sports Network. So make sure you guys are tuning in and getting ready for that. Well, folks, we got plenty to talk about here today as we have the NFL Draft is tomorrow. NFL Draft tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more NFL Draft coverage here today. Yesterday, we did a couple of our mock picks that we think is going to happen. We'll talk some more about those here today. We'll also touch on the NBA playoffs. We got a couple of game twos yesterday. The Lakers tie their series up. We'll talk about that. The Pacers take a 2-0 lead over Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll talk about that. And OKC gets another blowout win versus Memphis. So we'll touch on those topics as well. Like I said, we'll get Coach Foster on here a little bit later in the show, and we'll get a chance to talk with him. Joining me in studio today, we've got the WISD Hall of Famer himself and a former Texas Tech alum and San Diego Charger, Mr. Wayne Walker, in the building with us. Wayne, what is going on?
Hey,
Sir,
good
yes,
afternoon, good evening.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, folks, we're going to dive right into it. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about here today. Last night, the Los Angeles Lakers tied up the series versus the Minnesota Timberwolves as they were able to get a 94-85 win over the Timberwolves. In that game, Julius Randle for the Timberwolves led their team in scoring with 27 points. Anthony Edwards right behind him with 25 points. On the Lakers side, Luka doing Luka things once again, 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists for Luka Doncic in this game. LeBron, 21 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists in this game as well. Played a lot better, played with a lot more pace in this game. Austin Reeves also chipped in with 16 points as well. The Lakers were able to get a dub over the Timberwolves. They tied this thing up as they get ready to head back out to Minnesota and take on the Timberwolves at home this time for Game 3 and what will be a very pivotal Game 3. Right now, it's tied up. Yesterday when we were on the show, I picked the Lakers to win this game because I said the Timberwolves just wouldn't be able to keep up the hot shooting they had in Game 1. Julius Randle knocking down 4 threes, I think, in Game 1. McDaniels hit 4 or 5 threes in Game 1. All these different guys chipped in. Nas Reed had 23 off the bench in Game 1. This game looked a little bit different for them. Nas Reed only chipping in with 9 points. Anthony Edwards was able to get his shot off. Not as effective passing the ball, though. 0 assists, and I think that was the biggest point of this because in Game 1, we saw Anthony Edwards with 9 assists and getting his teammates involved. This game, 0 assists for Anthony Edwards, and they kind of made it close to it, but for majority of this game, start to finish, the Lakers were in full control of this one. Wayne, when you saw the game yesterday, the Lakers got a dub. What did you think about them winning and then those adjustments made from Game 1 to Game 2?
That's what basketball, that's what football, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Game-to-game and adjustments. The Lakers turned up their defense intensity last night, and they shot the ball better. They played with more urgency than they did the first game. When you get to the playoffs, you have to turn it up a notch, and that's what the Lakers were able to do last night after a lackluster performance the prior game. So, going forward, the two most important guys in this series is Luka
Mm-hmm.
and Anthony Davis. I mean, and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
So those are the two most important players. They both seem to be the leaders of their team. You're not going to get nothing out of Rudy Gobert.
He's just out there.
He's just out there. They were doing a thing about the most overrated players in the league, and for me, he's the most overrated player in the league
For years.
But getting back to this series,
Mm-hmm.
Luka and Anthony Edwards are the two most important players in this game. They're the leaders of their team, and depending on what they do is going to determine the outcome of this series.
Yeah, I think Luka is going to get that 30 that we seen him get in Game 1 and Game 2. I think he's going to be that guy that says, hey, I'm going to be the driving force of this game. Whenever we need a bucket, he's giving them a bucket. We've seen that in both games. And when the Lakers start to struggle to turn it on some more and gets to that other level that I guess it feels like people forgot about that he could get to. They thought Luka was just not the guy that got to the finals last year. And he has the ability to take over a series, not just a game.
And he looked like he's finally gotten in.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, not only did he add 30 points, but he had a triple-double.
Yes.
So he had over 10 assists last night. So his contribution to what the Lakers are doing is big. And then once you have him contribute like that, then the other guys can just pitch in. You can get 20 from LeBron, you can get 15 from Austin Reeves, and then the other guys just knick-knack, and then you get your guys off the bench to come in and give you a little bit. So Luka is the most important ingredient for the Lakers.
Yeah, Luka is that driving force for them. On the other side, the Timberwolves, you look at Anthony Edwards getting back to that 25 again, but the 0 assist I thought was a little bit alarming, especially after Game 1, how well they played when he had 9 assists.
Yeah.
You come out the next game and get 0, and you're losing for the majority of this game. How do you think Anthony Edwards got to tailor and adjust his game in this series to get some more victories?
Timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1, the Lakers weren't able to gain. They didn't have any kind of consistency. Every time they make a shot, then Minnesota would come back down and hit a 3 or a 2. So they couldn't really just kind of catch him. So timing is everything when you're talking about a game. And with Anthony Edwards, he was doing that the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lakers come down and score, and they didn't let him get back into the game no kind of way. Every time they score, they come back and score.
Yeah.
But this game, they wasn't able to do what they did the first game. They wasn't able to live up to those expectations and come down and score. So scoring is going to be big for Minnesota, and especially with him. He's going to have to penetrate, get to the bucket, and be able to pass or get his easy layups. And if he's not doing that, then there's no hope for the Minnesota team.
Don't have enough scoring with them losing Cat. I mean, they just don't have enough scoring. That's why I picked the Lakers to win in this series to start with because of the lack. I feel like the 22 and then 25 in this game, Ant's got to get more like 35, 40, in my opinion, for them to have a chance in this.
He has to have at least 35.
Yeah.
And then you got to get something out of Julius Randle too, but he's a one-dimensional player. You just guard him to the left, and he's out of there.
And he's going to score in this series. He had 27 last night, but I think that's the Lakers' plan. He's his matchups out of everybody, but I want him to score.
And that would be my plan too, to shut down Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
And then let everybody around him score. But it didn't work that first game.
No.
Reed, and
Yeah. If McDaniels and Reed, who both gave them 25 in game one, if you get that, I mean, it's going to be tough for anybody to beat.
But I don't think they can do that.
They can't.
I don't think they can do that on a consistent basis. I think there was a one game type of thing for them. So I clearly get an edge to the Lakers. They just got to go out and play with great intensity and play their game and not make it so easy for the Timberwolves to score like they did in game one.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get other guys involved again like they did in game one. But like you said, that's just not who the Timberwolves were. When you look at McDaniels going 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 from the three-point line, he's not a three-point shooter. You look at Randall getting 4 for 6 from threes. He's not a big-time three-point shooter. And then Randall, I think they want him to get the ball because he's a ball stopper. As soon as he touches it, there's no passing going on.
No.
You don't have to worry about anybody passing. He's shooting the ball. So as long as he touches it, then we're gonna live with that because that's where the shot is coming from.
And I just don't think Minnesota can stop Luka. Luka has had his way with Minnesota, even going back to his Dallas days. Every time he plays against the Timberwolves, he just has his way. He relies on the pick and roll, gets who he wants in the pick and roll, whether it's Rudy Gobert or whoever, and he just takes over.
Yeah.
And it's easy for him to score, and it's much more easier for him to score than any player in this series.
Yeah, anybody. Out of anybody, he can pick out the matchup, like you said. If they put McDaniels on him, he's just going to run him through a few screens. They're going to find a way to switch Gobert out there, and I'm with you. I don't know how he didn't get the most overhyped player in the league, but they're going to switch Gobert out there, and he's going to be on an island, and we know what that's going to look like. We've seen it too many times, especially last year in the playoffs, like you said, against Dallas. I mean, we've seen it too many times. This Timberwolves team is just undermatched. I felt like that from the beginning. I know they stole game one, and everybody started saying, oh, they might have a recipe. I'm like, they can't keep up the offensive output that they had in game one. They're just not a team that's built like that. And defensively, they don't have enough to be able to stop all three of those guys. When you talk about Reeves, Luka, they can't do anything with Luka. If Reeves just has a 25, 30-point game, we know he can do. It's curtains. It's curtains for him.
Right.
So I see the Lakers being able to pull this one out. I said a 6. I'll stick with that. I think Timberwolves get 1 in Minnesota maybe, but outside of that, I don't see them winning another game in this series. I think the Lakers will be able to wrap this one up pretty handily. So the Lakers get a win 94-85 last night. And like I said, they tie up the series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They head out to Minnesota. Not sure if the Timberwolves getting 3 days in L.A. kind of did something with the Lakers coming out and being so good in game 2. That's a lot of free time in L.A. is all I'm saying. Them dudes got a lot of money, and that's a whole lot of free time in L.A. So that might can put a little distractions out there, Wayne, for them.
Distractions, man. But when you get to the playoffs, you kind of cut a little of that out.
Yeah.
You like, man, hey, it's our business at this point. It's a new season. And like you say, our level of intensity has to go up a notch or two. So I don't think they would outparty. Like you say, but in L.A., you never know.
Man, it's a whole lot of distractions out there in L.A., but like you said, you got to come in locked in and focused because if not, you got the whole summer to go to L.A., to Cabo, to wherever you want to go after that point. So
the eyes of the world on you right now.
That's when it's got to be locked in.
Every team is not playing right now.
Only half the teams
some guys already on vacation.
Oh man, there's some dudes on their second city by now. The season ended last week.
On the tour.
They on their second city. They might be headed out to Mexico right now, Jamaica or something at this point. But like I said, Lakers getting the win, tying up the series. They'll play their next game, I believe, on Thursday when they go back out to Minnesota. The second, one of the other games that were played yesterday was the Memphis Grizzlies in Oklahoma City, and this is one that's kind of been, I guess, somewhat disappointing in this series. 118-99 victory for the Memphis Grizzlies. They just don't have enough. I think it's simple by this point. At this point, we're looking at this team, the Grizzlies don't have enough to be able to compete with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City's too deep. They've got the MVP. Their home court advantage is killing right now, and the Grizzlies are just worn out. I think they've played 6 games in 2 weeks now, and all have been pretty much playoff games. They wrap up the end of the season, and then they got to fly to Golden State. They lose in Golden State, fly back to Memphis, and they got to fly to Oklahoma City, lose in game 1, and now they lose last night in game 2 as well. And now they got to get right back on the plane and fly back to Memphis. So I think the fatigue is really caught up to them, and just not getting enough offensive output from their stars, honestly. You see Ja Morant had 23 in that game. Jaren Jackson had a much better game in this one than he did in game 1, 26 points. But still not enough for them to be able to pick up a victory. The Thunder, just a dominant performance from start to finish in this game. They get scoring from everybody. Chet gives you 20 and 11 with 5 blocks to go with it. One of the better playoff games I've seen Chet Holmgren have. J-Dub came with 24 points. Shea had 27 and 8 in that game. And then off the bench, Caruso gives you a 13. If a guy like Caruso, who's out there just as a hustle guy, he starts getting you double digits, it's going to be hard for anybody to beat Oklahoma City.
And I don't even think Caruso played 5 minutes the first game they played.
Yeah, he barely played.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're just too deep. They're too deep. This series is over with. If you get a game like you had last night from Ja Morant, then it's over with. You know, you have to have Ja, Bain, and Jackson. At least, all of them had to have at least over 25 for them to even have a chance. And I don't see that happening. Oklahoma is a great defensive team, but they bring offense with it, and plus they have a deeper bench. I think they're going to get swept. So.
Yeah, I don't see how this goes good for Memphis at any point. I don't think they're going to win a game. I know they're going back to Memphis, and, you know, they'll get the home crowd and all them, and they'll play some 3-6 Mafia and stuff out there. I don't think any of that is going to help them, man. I don't see them. Like you said, Oklahoma City's the best defensive team in the league. And if they're getting – when Chet Holmgren starts giving you 20 and 10, I mean, Oklahoma City can beat anybody. That includes Boston, the Lakers. That includes if he's playing like that at that level, they can beat anybody. They've got multiple guys on their bench that can come in and give them a bucket. The Grizzlies just don't have enough, and I think this is honestly going to be, it's just in my opinion, the last time we see this version of the Grizzlies. I think one of those guys are gonna get traded in this offseason. I'm not even sure who, between Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, and Desmond Bane, because Desmond Bane's already got a $200-something million contract. Ja Morant's got a $200-something million contract that he's about to re-up on, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to make an All-NBA team this year because he played great. So that means he's going to be eligible for the Supermax, and that's $400 million. So, and Memphis doesn't have enough to support that many big contracts, in my opinion.
If you're not winning championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going to the playoffs is not enough to dictate that type of money being paid out to 3 superstars. If you was in
a small market.
In a small market. If you was in LA, New York, even Miami, you could see it being, you can justify that type of money being spent. But if you're not in one of those big cities, one of those big markets, then it's no way it's going to happen for you.
No, I don't see how they can support that. And they're missing out on even the biggest city in Tennessee. I think they should go to Nashville, just in my opinion. I mean, the Grizzlies got to do something to switch up what they have going on, because no 3 Supermax guys at the same time, and you're in probably a bottom 5 mark as far as just the amount of people and the amount of money in there in the NBA. You're ahead of teams like Charlotte and Oklahoma City, maybe. I mean, Oklahoma's got the whole state behind them with Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Oklahoma's on a different level than them, because you got some oil money in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
You got some oil money in Oklahoma. Memphis, like you said, it's the smallest market. Yeah. If not other than Charlotte.
Yeah, it's between them two, in my opinion.
And those are the 2 smallest markets in the NBA, and you can't justify maxing out 3 players, especially a guy getting $400 million. If you're not winning the championship. Now you can justify it if you winning the championship or you get into that conference final but they're not. They're going to get knocked out in the first round again, like they did last year. And Ja Morant doesn't help when he taking the pin out the grenade,
man,
and
that's
throwing
crazy,
it
man,
and putting it on his ears. And
I don't get that, man. I don't understand that. You got in trouble for the gun stuff. Then you start doing gun celebrations, and the league office has to tell you multiple times to stop doing the gun celebration. And now you switch to doing grenades.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, somebody got to talk to this guy,
and,
man.
you know, and that's his father. I think his
Yeah,
father plays
that's what I
into
said.
that. You know, man, because if that's my son, I kind of jack him up, put some of these hands in his chest a little bit, and say, hey, man, what are you doing, man? You've already messed up a Nike contract that could have paid you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
You could have had one of the hottest shoes, and then you can't even go sell them. So then Nike gets rid of them, and they can't get rid of shoes when you're the star that everybody's talking about. You're the up-and-coming star. You're the face of the NBA.
Supposed to be the face of the NBA by this point.
Exactly.
In 2021, 2022.
And you've messed all that up.
All of it.
So, to me, even though he's the main topic in Memphis, he gives them that street cred because everybody, all the rappers, everybody.
Oh, yeah, everybody love Ja.
They love Ja. You know, because he feel like he has his image to portray, you know, as far as being from Memphis and being tough and he being this gangster. But if I'm getting rid of anybody, it's going to be him because
I think you hitting the nail right on the head, man. That's the same thing I said. If somebody's got to go, honestly, it's got to be Ja. You can get Desmond on probably a slightly discounted contract when he gets his next contract. He's going to give you the same offensive output because Ja missed games because of suspension. He's injury prone. He's injured right now.
it's the same thing you get with Zion. You
Yes,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's the same situation basically to